Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GL Chapter 38, Section 18, and the Governor Healy's March 29th, 2023 revised order extending remote participation by all members in any meeting of a public body. This meeting of the Select Board will be conducted both in person and via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website. Committee members and members of the public may attend the meeting in person or remotely. Instructions for remote access can be found on top of the agenda. Every effort will be made to ensure that those attending remotely can access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Pursuant to MGL 7C 30A, Section 20F, after notifying the chair of the public body, any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting of a public body, may transmit the meeting through any medium. Beginning of the meeting, the chair shall inform other attendees of any such recordings. This meeting is being recorded by the Berkshire Edge, by the town of Great Barrington, and by CTSB. Any member of the public wishing to speak at the meeting must receive permission of the chair. The listings of agenda items are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed. Other items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. So we're going to start with the Select Board's announcements or statements. Ben? Garfield? Eric? Lee?
A few things. Number one, thank you to everyone that came out on Thursday at the DPU public hearing and submitted their comments on the rate increase hike proposed by the Attorney General. And I think it's really, really important that we all stay on top of this and put the pressure on and say, you know, this proposed rate increase is unfair and we're going to hold everyone accountable. So thank you for everyone that supported this by offering their comments, and thank you to the board because we all chipped in. So good job, and we'll keep the pressure on. The second thing I'd like to mention is that I was very honored to be part of the Du Bois Legacy Committee and give the ceremonial offering in terms of getting everyone on board with the committee, and that happened on Juneteenth at the St. James Cultural Center. So I was very grateful to be part of that group and to do the ceremonial swearing in of the committee. Lastly, I just would like to let everyone know that I submitted a request to Town Manager Prahinsky, requesting that he talk to town staff and town council with a recommendation that the Select Board go ahead and release the Housatonic Rest of the River Municipal Committee Executive Session minutes. So I'd like to get the process started. I think it's really important that we have transparency and accountability, which are essential in terms of maintaining the public trust in local government, and it's the cornerstone for essential governance. So I'm going to read the email that I sent Mark, and what my hope is that he comes back with recommendation that the Select Board can then discuss and hopefully vote on it in terms of getting these executive session minutes in the works so that we have some transparency. So I sent that today, and the email states, Dear Mark, I am writing to request that you meet with town staff and town council and return with a recommendation to the Select Board regarding the release of the Housatonic Rest of River Municipal Committee Executive Session minutes. Transparency and accountability are essential for maintaining the public's trust in our local government and are the cornerstone of effective governance. For this reason, I believe that these minutes will provide the communities impacted by the Rest of the River Agreement, Lee, Great Barrington, Lenox, Sheffield, and Stockbridge, with a clearer understanding of the decisions made and discussions held by our elected officials and appointed representatives. The request consists of the following: executive session minutes that foreshadow the 2020 final settlement, including the mediation process, and its minutes from February 23rd, 2018 through February 5th, 2020. Number two, executive session minutes compiled during the mediation agreement. I am aware that the minutes may be subject to confidentiality requirements, necessitating approval from all involved parties for the release. Additionally, I understand that content protected under client-attorney privileges may need to be redacted. Transparency builds trust and fosters civic engagement, allowing residents to feel informed and involved in matters that impact their lives and the future of our towns. By releasing these minutes, we can assure that our community members are fully aware of the deliberations that affect them and can participate more meaningfully in the governance process. Please include this topic on the July 8th meeting agenda for further discussion by the Great Barrington Select Board. Thank you for considering my requests. Sincerely, Lee Davis.
Excellent. Approval of minutes. We have in our packet the June 3rd, 2024 minutes. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the June 3rd, 2024 minutes.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Town managers report.
Thanks, Steve. First up on my list tonight is Houstonic Waterworks, and I don't have any news to report this evening, but I did again also want to thank everyone who showed up on Thursday night to share comments with the DPU. Next on my list is a town clerk update, and I just wanted to mention to everyone publicly that our town clerk left for another position shortly after the annual town meeting. This year, we advertised the opening in the usual locations, and after a review of resumes and interviews of potential candidates, we did make an offer on Friday to our preferred candidate. And I'll be sharing a press release once we've completed the onboarding process, which I expect will be a quick one. So in the meantime, Marie Ryan is serving as our interim town clerk, and will do so and also help with training our new town clerk. Next on my list is a board and committee news update here, and that's that I just wanted to share publicly and with this board that David and Amy Rutstein have stepped down from our Council on Aging board after serving for 40 years. So I wanted to recognize their service to the town, specifically for our elderly population tonight. And then my last update is that Sonny Tarnwell, who's sitting here in the front row of our meeting room tonight, will be retiring at the end of this month after serving as our Hoosie Dome custodian for the last 39 years. That's a long, long run. So this board has a little token of our appreciation to share with him this evening. Congratulations.
Yay.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
He's at a loss of words. He never
Thank
is.
you.
He's never had a loss for words. It's
Would you like to say anything?
Want to say anything?
Well, I just gotta say, just thanks a lot, and it's been a great 39 years. You know, I'll miss every bit of it, but I'll still go to the dome.
I hope so. They won't know what to do without you there.
Yeah, I know it, but, well, at least I won't go in there and they'll ask me for things now. Go in there as a audience person, but for the 39 years, the first few years was like Sonny Parnowa's community center. That's what it was. In other words, I scheduled stuff. We had a town clerk, we didn't have town managers, and they let me do what I wanted. The community center had a board, and Tom Kenny was the one that appointed me. And I'm thankful for that. But anyway, thanks anyway. And if you want to ask me any questions, go ahead.
Thank you for serving.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. You have a fan club. Bye.
Yeah. Okay, next on the agenda is application for a common vic license, Best Damn Espresso Mobile Coffee Unit, alternating between 232 Main Street and 123 Main Street, Great Barrington, Monday through Sunday with variable hours between 8 AM and 8 PM.
Angela, your mic is open.
Oh, I just saw the option to unmute. I don't have anything to say unless you want me to introduce myself. Hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and give a 1 minute about your business.
Hi, I'm Angela Highsmith and I'm here with my partner, Osseo Highsmith. We have Best Damn Espresso. We have mobile espresso service units that we generally move around. For the summer, we've been on Main Street. And we'll probably stay there. We sell just beverages. The truck has ice cream. The trailer just has drinks.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the application for the common victualler right license to the Best Damn Espresso Mobile Coffee Unit, alternating between 232 Main Street in Great Barrington and 123 Main Street in Great Barrington, Monday through Sunday with variable hours between 8 AM and 8 PM.
Second.
Discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All?
Thank you.
Unanimous, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Application for a weekday annual indoor entertainment license, common or garden pub, 425 Park Street, Housatonic.
I'll be recusing myself for this one, Steve.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the application for a weekday annual indoor entertainment license to the common or garden pub at 425 Park Street in Housatonic.
Do I have a second?
Okay.
You want to just give a shout out of what you're doing there? Chrissy must be- Yes.
Hi. Yeah, so just plan on having mostly local musicians, some local DJs, and we're keeping it to like probably Fridays mostly. If there's any like DJ event that's happening after 10 PM, it's going to be 21 plus. We'll have a bouncer just to kind of keep that riffraff out. But other than that, just wanting to kind of keep building on the local vibe there, and I feel like we've done well so far. So that's the idea.
Great. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I'm just curious, why 21 after 10, what's happens early? Is there no alcohol served earlier?
There is, but there's servers and it's more of a dinner format, whereas after 10 PM, it's strictly bar. There's only bar snacks offered. And it's an, you know, we want to avoid any underage drinking, because it's especially very hard to track, like if they're underage kids there and then someone else is buying them drinks. And I just find right now, at least, in order to really like preserve my liquor license and keeping things in line, I just want to start out this way.
And everything is inside, correct?
Yes, this is inside.
Anyone else?
Well, do you have a way to kind of, I know it's tough, a way to maybe control that underage drinking that you're concerned about?
I mean, there's certainly ways, like I would just increase my staff behind the bar in order to essentially ID everyone and hand out wristbands. But in the meantime, if the events are 21 plus, there will just be a bouncer at the door, which is also easy because there will be events that have a cover charge. So that interaction at the door will happen anyways. So.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
It's unanimous. Good luck to you again.
Thank you very much.
Application for temporary hawkers, peddlers and vendors license, Berkshire Busk, Railroad Street. Tented booths selling local artists and crafts each Saturday beginning June 28th and continuing through August 31st from 6:30 PM to 8:30 PM.
Yeah, step out.
You're stepping. Okay. Who's here? Hey, how are you? Hello.
So yeah, this will be same as we've done in previous years, we have, of course, invited downtown Great Barrington business to have an increased presence on Railroad Street. It's artisans, it's other nonprofit organizations that hand out information. And I have Brenna, our new vendor manager, with me here as well.
Do I have a motion first?
I make a motion to approve the application for temporary hawkers, peddlers, and vendors license to Berkshire Busk, Railroad Street, Great Barrington, for tented booths selling local artisan crafts each Saturday beginning June 28th and continuing through August 31st from 6:30 PM to 8:30 PM.
Second.
Discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Good luck to you.
Yes, thank
Good
you.
seeing you again. Application for a one-day beer and wine license, Big Elm Brewing for Berkshire South Regional Community Center Cornhole Tournament, 15 Chrissy Road, Saturday, July 20th, from 3 PM to 7 PM. You got someone?
I do not see Christine on the line.
What's the board's?
You know me,
I knew the answer, but I had to hear it.
right, well, you know, like,
Hang on.
Hold
Might be
it.
something.
Hand up, there's a hand up.
Bill, your mic is open.
Hi, sorry about that. I'm not very good with Zoom.
Okay, you made it. Just tell us a brief bit about what's gonna happen.
Well, Berkshire South is putting on, I believe it's their first annual cornhole tournament, type of fundraiser. And they asked us to come and sort of set up a little booth and sell, beer if people are interested. I think there's going to be other goods for sale, baked goods or chips or snacks and things like that. And it's just for a few hours. We like to support Berkshire South. So it's just one of those things we like to do.
Great, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the application for a one-day beer and wine license to Big Elm Brewing for Berkshire South Regional Community Center Cornhole Tournament, located at 15 Chrissy Roads on Saturday, July 20th, from 3 PM to 7 PM.
Second.
Do I have questions or comments?
yeah, what is the Berkshire South staff gonna be doing? They're gonna be, it's just gonna be your staff and you're just using their place because they asked you to? Are they involved? And do we have all the necessary tips, et cetera, et cetera?
The tips are basically our Big Elm staff. We're all tip certified, which we can provide to the town. And Berkshire South isn't going to handle any of the beer that we're selling. It's just strictly our staff.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Application for a one-day beer and wine license, Laura Weiner for a pre-wedding party at 403 Southbridge Road, Leo Cafe. On Friday is a typo on the agenda, July 5th, from 6:30 PM to 9 PM. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the application for a one-day beer and wine license to Laura Weiner for a pre-wedding party at 403 Stockbridge Road, which is the Rio Cafe, on Friday, July 5th, from 6:30 PM to 9 PM.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you. Public hearing. This is an application from Fuel Restaurant Group LLC for a new wine and beer liquor license at 293 Main Street. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
It's a roll call vote. Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
And I. An explanation of the project and introduce yourselves, please.
Okay, Lydia Merkel, Carol Kayla, owners of Fleet. So we are just looking to get just the beer and wine license so we can have events. We're looking to stay open a little later and bringing the things down. Instead of the one day beer and wine license every time we would like to do something.
Makes sense. Do I have any public comments? Anyone to speak in favor or in opposition?
Well, I would like to just say.
Just go right up and introduce yourself, please. We know you, but someone may not.
Neighbor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Donna Norman from Calyx, Berkshire. I am Fuel's neighbor and I would love them to have this license. They're bringing more business to town, the changes they're making. It's amazing with more menu options and we love having more activity in downtown. So I'm definitely in favor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone online, just raise your hand. Seeing no one. Select board questions?
I don't have any questions, more just statements. I mean, I view this location for a good portion of my life has always had this license there as well. The previous fuel had it for a spell as well. So I don't see any reason why to stop them from basically renewing the license has been there.
Anyone else?
I'm just curious, if you do establish regular service, or what were you hoping to, what that would look like? Just
For right now, we're just projecting into doing Fridays through, Sundays, brunch.
bunch of-
Like, having a beer for lunch, having a mimosa for breakfast, so. And, people, we're starting to get, a lot of interest in, renting the space out for evenings, so we did it, we've already done it once, and we had to get a beer and wine license just for the day. So, we just feel that, it will certainly benefit Fuel, obviously, and I think the community as well.
I just have a question, I guess.
Go ahead.
So will there be someone at the door, if you will, or something? Now, I don't know how you did it before. I'm not familiar. I haven't
So
really frequent.
previously, they did, if it was like a 21 and over, we did have a bouncer at the door. Because I have been an employee of Fuel previously since 2016. We've had dinner events, but you had to buy a ticket, and it was a 21 and over event. While we have our doors open, we do have a licensed bartender, and we've got several tip certified. And we have other tip certified employees when we working those evenings, going out to ID, because we serve other beverages as well. It would just be an open door at that moment until we decide to do a closed event. That's only 21, right?
Right.
And courting people is just what you do, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call vote, Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Eric. Lee.
Aye.
And I. Select board, any discussion?
I echo Eric's comment from before. I think this makes a lot of sense for me.
It's been done there before and it's done successfully. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the application from Fuel Restaurant Group LLC for a new wine and beer liquor license at 293 Main Street, Great Barrington.
Second?
Discussion. Roll call vote, Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
And I. It's unanimous. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next is new business. This one will be a grant of a utility easement across north corner of Housatonic Park and Playground to WDM Enterprises. You wanna?
I'm gonna recuse myself.
I'm also.
I might just step out just to join them.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Real quickly, this is all included in your packet for this evening, but for anyone at home or in the audience here, this is a request from WDM Properties for a utility easement from Meadow Street, so across the town park in Housatonic for sewer, stormwater management, electrical and telecommunications. The easement is on a portion of the park that is unused at this time. And this has already been authorized by both town meeting and the Parks Commission, so we're just looking for the select board to approve it tonight as well.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the grant utilities easement to WDM Properties.
Do I have a second? Discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous.
Thank you.
That's Ben and Eric, you can come back. Okay, the next is the letter of support for the town's application to Massachusetts Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs for open space and recreation plan assistance.
So again, there was an executive summary in your packet, but for anyone that did not have an opportunity to look at it or is attending remotely or in the audience tonight, we're requesting that the board sign a letter of support for a grant to provide assistance with updating our open space and rec plan. The last update was in 2013. This was one of our COVID casualties. This is on your priority list, but it was, I think, scheduled to be revisited in 2019, December of 2019. We put it on the back burner for a few years, but we'd like to get this going again. So this would give us the assistance from the ERPC to do that.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we authorize the chair to sign the attached letter of support and commitment for the application to the Mass EEA.
Second.
Discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
Review and approve year-end transfers, budget transfers.
So in your packet tonight, there are a number of transfers for your review and approval. This is simply year-end housekeeping. We're not looking, any of the departments listed here, they're not looking for additional funding. These are just transfers from one account with a surplus to another account that's in deficit, and they were reviewed and approved by the Finance Committee on June 18th.
Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the various transfer requests, including in tonight's packet as presented by town staff.
Second.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot to cover one part of this
Yes.
before you vote. The second piece of this is also housekeeping, but the second piece of this also included in the packet is a few general fund unspent bond proceed transfers. So in addition to the department transfers, we're asking you to for your approval to use this funding, this bond proceed funding to pay down debt service principal in the current fiscal year, and that's allowed by state statute for any item under $50,000, and that list is included in the packets. I'm sorry, I should have added that into my description before you voted.
That's fine. That was part of the motion anyways. Questions or comments? This is pretty routine. It gets done 60 days at the end of the
Last 6
last 60 days. Okay,
Mark, am I right in looking at this, that the web work is just, that's labor? We're just paying someone to do that data transfer. Is that
Yeah, so there was a portion of the migration cost included in our original contract. This is over and above that. So there's a lot of information stored on our website right now, and we won't be able to migrate all of it over, but there's more that needs to be moved over. So this is to fund that cost.
okay, we have a motion, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Next is the preview of the town website redesign.
From Alicia.
It might be.
In the meantime, I'll get
You get it, so she, I think she just came through.
Has she been promoted?
There she is.
There she is.
Hi.
Hello.
So this is just for we just wanted to show you, this is kind of just for the layout. It's all of the information isn't migrated yet, so it's not information based. We just kind of wanted to get your approval on the design and layout of what the previous town clerk and I had worked on. That way we can move forward and finish the migration and have our launch. Mark has I don't know if he has it up.
I'm gonna put it up right now and I'll follow your lead. Alicia, if there's anything you'd like me to scroll to.
So
specific-
basically, this is what Jen and I had come up with. We took, when we had our original design meeting with our representative, she asked what our main goals were. And when I had met with Mark, he said that he thought the board wanted it to be like more crisp, not so much going on, things that were easier to find. So like on our current website right now, like the whole top header doesn't stay. So if you scroll down, you can't see the top header. We wanted the calendar to be more front and center. And also the latest updates have those little icons and you can scroll over side to side. And we thought that like that would be a better way to list the latest updates. We liked the buttons up at the top. We're only allowed to pick, I think 6. Yeah. So we thought that those were the most used and like agendas and minutes. Most people come for agendas and minutes, definitely to pay their bills. We get that question a lot on our current website that they can't find where to pay their bill. So we tried to choose, you know, what we thought residents would be looking for most and put those there. And the pictures there at the top, every time you click on the website, like if you X out and click back on it, it will rotate through pictures. And we're always looking for new pictures if anybody has any, but there are a few, there's like one of the whole main street of town, and it will rotate through those. But basically right now we're just like looking to see if you wanted to make any changes. If you click on anything, you're not going to see, it's not going to be with updated information, but you can, it will take you to what the screen will look like if you wanted to click on any of those. So yeah, we just wanted to get your input if you wanted to make any changes. Is there something you don't like? Yeah.
So let me go there. Alicia, it's hard to tell by looking at it here. One of the things I look a lot for is who's on a board and how to contact them. Is that gonna be fairly easy to find? Under government, I would assume.
Yes, it would be under government and then you would choose. That's kind of staying the same as how our current website is. You just choose on, I don't know if they have them there yet though. Like if you click on it, she might not have them listed yet because she didn't want to migrate anything in case we had to make any layout changes. Yeah, boards and yeah. So you
That's
could
perfect.
pick there, then you would click on one and it would list the board members.
That's great. Lee, go ahead.
Thank you. This is a great step in the right direction. If there are alerts, will you have kind of a banner that comes up if there's something
Yes.
urgent?
Yes,
And how
there
does
will
that-
be a banner and it will be at the top. And we are allowed to actually, the current website, we're only allowed to have like 1 alert at a time. I think she said we could have up to 3 alerts at a time on this current one, and it will be listed right at the top. And it doesn't have to be in red. If it's not like, you know, an emergency, you can put it in any color you want.
Okay, and just one other question. What is the citizens action?
Yeah.
Scroll
Oh, yeah.
down, citizens action something or other.
So
What is that?
that is like, if you want to, yeah, you can click on that, Mark. I actually clicked on that one right before yeah, so if you're looking for like, you know, these are like frequently asked questions that we ask staff, like, what do you get questions on a lot? So that's basically, we get a lot of people, how do I sign up for the Code Red? I get a lot of calls in my office about like, where can I find the form to fill out for if I want to reserve the park? So we kind of like picked, and those can all be changed. We just kind of asked staff what were their most frequently asked questions when they got calls about the website, and those were the ones we came up with, but they can be changed. And they don't have to be changed now. Anybody, whoever's updating the website can change those.
So I guess my suggestion would be to change that to frequently, you know, FAQ.
Yeah.
To make it obvious. Because I think we're all wondering what that is, and it's one of those obvious ones that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Please.
Anyone else?
I have the same question about the Citizens Action Center, and Alicia, I think it's a great concept. If anything, like, I might move that have that one on the left, because it just seems like that's gonna be the first thing that people are gonna, or a lot of people.
I'm sorry, say that again. You change it to frequently asked questions and move it to one of the buttons.
Like putting in like the first position on the left, it just seems like it's gonna be really, you know, that and the bill payment, I think.
So yeah, that's absolutely fine. We can do that. So we just have to take one of the other ones down because we're only allowed 6. So which one would you maybe?
Oh, no.
He's just saying move.
Reorganize it, just shifting it over and then moving agendas and minutes.
Oh,
over.
I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah. It seems great.
Yeah, along with that, I think employment opportunities, you know, if you're gonna do it in order of usage.
That to the end.
Yeah, I would think that employment opportunities would probably be the last ones, and agenda minutes and FAQs and form and permits. pay your bill, like, just kind of do the obvious and talk to staff, what gets the most hits right
Yep.
now, and then put that in the order that gets the most hits.
Absolutely.
Can you recognize
And
Eileen?
then under the government, when like, according to like what Steve was saying, if you pick on, say, the select board, will you be able to click on any one of our names and it would set you up to send us an email before we're
Yes.
supplying information? Yeah.
Yes, I'm not sure if they have that there yet. If you hover over one of their names, it might not be set. If you go back up, Mark, and just
Yeah,
hover over
no,
one of their names.
Yeah,
No,
no.
they don't have the
they're not-
link set up yet, but yes, every staff member who's listed will, including the select board, will have that so that you can click on it and it won't show your email. It'll just bring up that contact form where you can
Great.
write an email. So that I don't know why they do that, but that's how it's all done through the website. They just like you can hover over it, click on it, and it'll bring up like a new message that you can send, but it won't show your email address.
Sounds good.
One other question about the select board meetings that are on YouTube, or sorry, CTSB. How would someone find that? Or is there a way to link to those select board videos so people can watch them?
Are those on our current, is there a spot on our current website for that? I actually didn't look at that specific.
Yeah, I think it's in our current Citizen Action Center, actually in that blue box on the left-hand side.
It is.
Okay, so would you like it in the same place? So I can have
Well,
them
I
link,
think that
put
when
it under.
people look at- Yeah, I think maybe two places. I don't, so when people look at the minutes and they want to see what the minutes were, it'd be really handy to have a link to the video of that meeting.
Yep, I
People are
think
kind
that
of-
we can do that because we are having them migrate all of the agendas and minutes, and on top of that, they're attaching the packet for the agendas and minutes right to it. So I think we could just add another space for like click to watch this meeting or something.
Yeah, I think that would be super
Yeah,
helpful.
that would be
Please.
great. Eileen,
Yep,
you
we
had
can
a
do that.
question?
Yeah, I have 3 questions. Excuse me. You can hear me, right?
Yes,
We
I can.
Okay. The list of boards is not complete. I assume you realize that.
Yes, they haven't migrated. She just input stuff so that like if we needed to
Okay.
click on something while I was showing it, then you could see what it would look like. They're not finished. Everything that is on our current website, with the exception of really old agendas and minutes, is going to be on this website.
Will agendas and minutes also be on the page for each board? I
You
know
know,
some websites.
Are they currently now?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, then they will. It will
Okay.
be. Yes, it will be set up like it is now, just hopefully easier to find.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's it.
So,
Thanks, Eileen. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so Alicia, I did, I saw briefly that you have the CTSB, a whole separate thing. Yeah, if you go back to the blue menu, you had something for the CTSB on there. I guess, Mark, you're driving it, right?
Sorry, yeah, where do you want me to go?
It was, I guess, under government. Maybe I'm just guessing where I saw it. Yeah, so bottom right says select board meeting video archive.
Oh, yeah, right.
So if there's a way to have 2 entry points into that,
Yeah.
leave it there, and then also next to each meeting, if there's a way to put a link saying watch here.
Yep,
For
absolutely.
people that are looking 2 different ways, so.
Yep, we can do that.
What's under the how do I tab in the nav bar?
Yeah, so I think now that, so this was done a while. So now that I think that you're jogging my memory, I think that the how do I was kind of like the frequently asked. So like the fire, police, like we get calls all the time for like, I don't know how to contact the police if it's not an emergency. So like we kind of did that, but like if you want me to combine those 2 into like frequently asked questions and how do I or something like that, I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it's like the frequently asked questions could kind of take this first category, and this is more of like a contact. Because is that?
Yeah, so like I had Jen working on it with me, and so like where she put, like, you can see public records requests and vital records, she gets that question all the time because people don't know people don't
Yeah.
know where, that they need to go to the town clerk's page for those things. So we kind of came up with some departments, like most, the things that they can't find. And it's mostly just because they don't know what department to go to. Like I have everybody stops at my office for a dump sticker because they don't know where to go for. So we kind of like, we're trying to eliminate some of those questions. Because on our current website, if you don't know that the town, you need a death certificate from the town clerk, for example, they're not going to be able to find it. So we were trying to eliminate some of that.
I think the both should be listed, frequently asked questions, and how do I, because, and they are different,
Yep. Okay.
they tell you different.
I was just gonna ask Mark if you could go back to the citizen action, like, just cause I, so I can.
And we can add more stuff here. This is what, just what we come up with, you know, while asking staff what they get the most questions about.
Is there one in particular you want me to click on?
No, I was just, sometimes when you, if it all was to be lumped under, you know, frequently asked questions, sometimes when there's too much on a page, it gets lost, right? And then other times, if there's the second page. I guess I'm debating whether we do want to combine them all or not, that's all.
Yeah.
You could have two categories under one. And I don't know what you would call it. One would be frequently asked questions, but related to that is, you know, what committees have vacancies? You know, so you could form most of those into a question. And, you know.
Yeah, so would you prefer it to be one of the main buttons if we combined them, or would you prefer it to be up top? Like where the how do I is?
I almost think that you could do it in a way that they both still get you there.
Yeah, I think people search the website in different ways, so some people might gravitate to how do I and some might go to FAQs, so I would offer both options.
I agree, I would be one of those.
Yeah, and they could end up in the same place, but I think.
So would you like all of the information combined and to keep them in both places under those labels?
I feel, it's almost like how do I feel like kind of this navigation, am I right in thinking also just the way the page is laid out here kind of allows you to put more links on it than the other? It's like, this is like the longer version, and then the FAQ is almost like the top links, like what people are, you know, the most search for. So I think it's like, to Eric's point about keeping it clear and like not getting too cluttered.
Yeah.
Just whatever, like I think what you're already trying to do here, of just make like having quick access, direct access to the things that people come to the site most directly for. And I think having that down at the buttons underneath the header there, that makes a lot of sense. But then kind of having some of the less frequently search for items, but like still nesting that under how do I, but I think it makes sense for there to be overlap between these two, but really focusing on, you know, kind of what you're doing with the most important tasks that people come to the site for under the FAQ or Citizen Action Center, but.
So I'm not understanding what are you asking?
No, I think it's just a matter of, for me, I think the actual layout of this makes a lot of sense. It's the headers, and just making sure that it's clear and kind of, you know, the Citizen Action Center. Yeah, I'm looking at the old site. I see now that it's the header for that box, but all of the links are actually laid out on the homepage. So I think that made sense in that context. Here, it's just kind of, it's a quick links or frequently asked questions. It's just that idea of like, this is the quickest way to do these.
Is it currently called Citizen Action Center?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. While the how do I can kind of take on more information, right? Where
Yeah.
it's just like, so it's like, this is the abbreviated version, the how do I is almost like the long form version.
Yeah,
So-
I think, you know, with how do I, you know, if the town clerk is getting a lot of the questions or you're getting a lot of the same questions, it's probably an easy way for you to just kind of dump, you know, not
Yeah.
dump, but like put everything like we've been asked this all the time. And, you know, it might be more current because all of a sudden you might, you know, we might have a flood or, you know, people are like, how do I, da, da, da. So this might be something that's more updated more frequently. and, that you guys could really have an active hand on it. Whereas the other
so-
one might be more, evergreen.
Yeah.
or whatever, more.
What are you saying?
So I guess, how do let's say there's something that comes up that all of a sudden getting a lot of questions. This would be a quick place to say, oh, we're getting a lot of questions on how do I
Yeah.
renew my, permit or whatever, something that maybe is
I
more
just think
frequent.
how it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
way-
instinctively you would kind of go to that, so I think that's very handy.
Felicia, how does this translate onto a phone? Our current website doesn't well at all. Does
Oh
this-
yeah, it's all set up it has the mobile version that when you pull it up on your phone, it will show just everything that you see when you pull it up on the internet, on the website, on the internet will pull up on your phone just like this. It'll just obviously be, but it translates. I did try it on my phone. She sent me a link and it translated perfectly. It was much easier to navigate on my phone than the current website is.
Good, great.
Do the buttons stack on mobile? Like,
Yes.
okay.
I think
so-
it's like 2 columns,
Okay.
if I
Are
remember
you-
correctly.
Are you gonna be maintaining this, or do we have someone that's gonna be maintaining this? If there's
Um,
updates, things are not right, or?
Oh, I am
Oops.
not the person who has been doing that. It's been the town clerk. I don't know if it's gonna continue to be the town clerk. I don't make the updates though.
It'll remain. the
So it's
responsibility.
Mark's saying it's gonna be still the town clerk, so.
So it's easy enough to navigate, it's not like. pretty- I mean, not to
Yes,
navigate,
and
to
we have a lot of trainings available if we do hire someone new and they're not familiar, someone who is not familiar with our website, we have training credits left, so they can be shown how to do any of the additions, take things off, any of that.
And I think that person to look at the analytics and just see what pages are getting the most views and, just as a kind of a good way to keep on top of this website to make sure it's as functional as possible and helpful.
Yes, and we did ask before, because some of the migration has obviously started, so we asked at the cutoff date, we reminded at department head meetings, please look at the current website and take down anything that's outdated, because there was like broken links sometimes and things like that. So everything, we reminded department heads like a lot of times, so everything should be good once they migrate. There should be no broken links. There should be, the most up-to-date information. Well, the cutoff was in February, so up until February, and then whoever does get hired for the town clerk position is going to have to go in and go from February to whenever our launch date is with the new information that's been added since then.
Yeah.
Jen was keeping a list, I do know that.
Oh,
Go ahead, go.
sorry. So just one thing, when people search for Berkshires or Great Barrington, in addition to helpful information that residents are searching for, it's also an opportunity to really push Great Barrington for businesses, for new families, to kind of have that, this is why Great Barrington's so great. Now, I don't know if that's existent on the current website, but I know that it might be handy, just, not to be a full-blown tourism site, but is there any opportunity to just kind of
Yeah,
summarize or link to?
So some of they gave us a whole list of websites to look at, and a lot of those websites did have things like that. I guess we said no because it's not something that we were doing, but it is an option if you would like that, they can add that. I know a lot of towns, other towns' websites have that, but we didn't have it, so I guess we didn't. And I don't know like who would. I mean, we can put anything you guys want, if you guys want to come up with a list of like what you want added.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get, because you have to update it. I mean, even if you link to the One Berkshire site and they have the chamber, obviously the Southern Berkshire Chamber, but something that someone is actually thinking about moving here or starting a business, so that there is maybe links or blurb that just kind of really highlights why Great Barrington's great. And without kind of taking away from what we really want to do, which is provide information. It's just an opportunity to possibly, have for people that are looking into Great Barrington, so.
I mean, we can link out to the cultural district.
Yeah,
or something,
exactly.
just, but yeah, maybe that's just a block, below on the homepage of
Yeah.
the news or something that's just kind of an evergreen out, so not something that staff would have to.
Yeah,
update,
yeah,
but
like-
just have. partners that.
why Great Barrington's great, and then just link to, But anyways, I don't want to get too much in the weeds.
So this looks really good. When is our, do we have a launch date, Alicia?
So she told me to come back to her tomorrow. She knew that I was, you guys were previewing it tonight. She told me to come back to her tomorrow with any changes. She said she could get those done pretty quickly, and she said we get to choose the launch date, so.
Good.
Once
is
the
a tough-
changes are made, which she said would be quick, she said we can choose whatever launch date we want.
This topic's on my list for our Wednesday department head meeting as well. So
Okay, good.
about that.
Good. Thank you very much,
Thank
Alicia.
you.
This is very impressive.
Thank you,
Yes,
Alicia.
hold on, Alicia, hold on. Come on up, Claudia.
Yeah, Claudia Shapiro, 78 Egremont Plain Road. You mentioned One Berkshire being in town government, Lee.
No, for tourism. They have a link. No, I was just talking about the tourism aspect of it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thank you, Alicia.
You're welcome. Well, I'm staying on because I have the next one too.
Well, that's true.
Ruby's got it.
Ruby, go ahead.
Is there a place for posting, emergency posting, like from the Department of Public, of the Board of Health?
So that would be done, and I think that's usually done as a banner. So that would be like an emergency banner that the staff would put up. It would come up right when you click on the website, it would come up right on top as if it was an emergency, a red banner. Or you can make it any color, but it would be like a banner right on top.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else? Okay. Next,
Okay,
to
so
review and approve bond anticipation notes. Go right ahead.
sorry.
No, it's
Yeah,
okay.
so we, Ally and I, the accountant and I, spoke to staff, and we have some ongoing projects that have already been started that we need to re-up the money for, as well as some of the new projects that were voted on at this past annual town meeting that are going to be started. So it involves various projects, which I did give you a copy of, I believe. And yeah, so in the executive summary, it's a $2 million general bond anticipation note. And this is just to keep the various projects that we have going on moving forward. Plus, I think there are, I had them counted before. I think it was like 5 or 6 new projects that Joe wanted to start as well. Some of them include the new fire department car that was voted on at town meeting, roads and bridges, things like that. So I'm asking, sorry.
I was just adding to that, some of this is parks improvements, DPW equipment, various town building improvements and so on.
So the lowest bidder came in to be East Hampton Savings Bank. And I am so sorry, but it says it on your executive summary, but I don't have in front of me what the
4.655.
yes. Yeah, and they were the lowest one. So we were hoping that you would award it. Oh yeah, I have it now. Yeah, so bank ESB 4.65%. And then we usually go by the net interest cost, which is the NIC number, and that is 4.65. And we only received 2 bids. And I'm asking for approval of that so we can get that, and Joe can continue working on the projects that he's doing.
Do I have a motion?
I recommend that we approve the note sale by voting on the attached document as presented and signing the temporary note in advance of the June 28th issue date.
Second.
Questions, comments?
You're gonna want to read this.
Oh, do you want me to read that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I, the clerk of the Select Board of the Town of Great Barrington, Massachusetts, certify that at a meeting of the board held June 24th, 2024, of which meeting all members of the board were duly notified and which a quorum was present, the following votes were unanimously passed, all of which appear upon the official record of the board in my custody. Voted to approve the sale of $2,025,960. Wait, 2 million.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah, 2,025,966.
Yeah, there's an extra 4 in there. Use that number.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that four must be a typo. It's the 966 is the end of it.
okay, 966 as per, okay. 4.65% general obligation bond anticipation notes of the town dated June 28th, 2024, and payable November 22nd, 2024 to Bank ESB at par and accrued interest, if any. Further voted that in connection with the marketing and sale of the notes, the preparation and distribution of a notice of sale and preliminary official statement dated June 28th, 2024, and a final official statement dated June 17th, 2024, each in such form as may approved by the town treasurer, be and hereby are ratified, confirmed, approved, and adopted. Further voted that the town treasurer and the select board be and hereby are authorized to execute and deliver a significant events disclosure undertaking in compliance with SEC Rule 15C2-12 in such form as may be approved by bond counsel to the town, which undertaking shall be incorporated by reference in the notes for the benefit of the holders of the notes from time to time. Further voted that we authorize and direct the town treasurer to establish post-issuance federal tax compliance procedures and continuing disclosure procedures in such form as the town treasurer and bond counsel deem sufficient, or if such procedures are currently in place, to review and update said procedures in order to monitor and maintain the tax exempt status of the notes and to comply with relevant security laws. Further voted that any certificates or documents relating to the notes, collectively the documents, may be executed in several counterparts, each of which shall be regarded as an original and all of which shall constitute one and the same document. Delivery of an executed counterpart of a signature page to a document by electronic mail in a PDF file or by other electronic transmission shall be as effective as delivery of a manually executed counterpart signature page to such document. And electronic signatures on any of the documents shall be deemed original signatures for the purposes of the documents and all matters relating thereto having the same legal effect as original signatures. Further voted that each member of the select board, the town clerk, and the town treasurer be and hereby are authorized to take any and all such actions and execute, deliver such certificates, receipts, or other documents as may be determined by them, or any of them, to be necessary or convenient to carry into effect the provisions of the foregoing votes. I further certify that the votes were taken at a meeting open to the public and that no vote was taken by secret ballot, that a notice stating the place, date, time, and agenda for the meeting, which agenda included the adoption of the above votes, was filed with the town clerk and a copy thereof posted in a manner conspicuously visible to the public at all hours in or on the municipal building that the office of the town clerk is located, or, if applicable, in accordance with an alternative method of notice prescribed or approved by the Attorney General as set forth in 940 CMR 29.03 2B, at least 48 hours, not including Saturdays, Sundays, and legal holidays, prior to the time of the meeting, and remain so posted at the time of the meeting, and no deliberations or decision in connection with the sale of the notes were taken in executive session, all in accordance with GLC 30A 18 sections 18 through 25 as amended, dated June 24th, 2024, clerk of the select board.
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just so you know, I put the original forms that need to be signed in your folder. So I just I labeled them. If you could just sign them because I have to FedEx the paperwork out tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
So,
I also just, wanted to add that the chair of the finance committee reached out to me this morning, and they would like to be more involved in these conversations. I don't know exactly what that means yet, but I'll have a conversation with him, with our finance staff, and I think what he's looking for is just a little more communication from staff. So in the future, when we're talking about an item like this on the agenda, I'll be sure to reach out to the finance committee and let them know.
So, next is a proposed appointment to the zoning board of appeals, James Manning. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the zoning associate James Manning to the zoning board of appeals.
Second.
So it's a full member of the zoning board of appeals, James Manning. Yes, I have a motion, a second. All in favor? It's unanimous. Next is the fiscal year 2025 board, committee, and commission reappointments. So it's the ones at the top half, the select board reappointments. You don't have to read them. You can just make a motion to as on the sheet for the select board reappointments.
Okay. I move that we approve the fiscal year 2025 board, committee, and commission reappointments as presented in the packet insert.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Proposed increase to the annual indoor entertainment license fee. Mark?
Okay, there's a sheet in your packet for this evening. This one particular fee, the annual weekday entertainment license fee, somehow slipped through the cracks when we were updating all of our various fees. So we're looking tonight for the board to approve an increase of the fee to $100. That's more in line. Well, first of all, it hasn't been updated in several years, and $100 would bring this much more in line with the other entertainment licenses that we offer, which are on this sheet here this evening.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve, that we approve the increase to annual indoor entertainment license fees.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Review and approve a new outdoor alcohol service application process. Mark?
Okay, again, in your packet is a summary, and I'll just walk you through it real quickly. We included the summary in your packet tonight because basically when new legislation was put into place at the end, I think it was April 30th of this year, by Governor Healy, regarding outdoor alcohol service, the ABCC shifted the responsibility of approving these licenses back to the local licensing authority, so your board. So staff needed to put a process in place to do that. So we've created an application. Applications will be mailed out to all of our current license holders and will be given to any new license holders as we go forward. Staff will review them, will notify abutters, and then those applications will come back to this board for final approval.
Any questions?
Just a little change in how we've done this in the past.
Okay. Citizens speak time. Just come up, state your name and address for the record.
Okay. My name's Deborah Ryan and I live at 116 Rushville Road, in Barrington. I promise I'll be brief.
You have up to 3 minutes, so.
Yep, I know, but I'm talking to some other people, so I wrote down a couple of notes. It helps me speak. We moved here 13 years ago and we looked for a home for about a year. We looked in Connecticut, we looked in New York, we looked in other parts of Berkshire County. And we chose Great Barrington. We chose Great Barrington for a lot of reasons, but and more precisely, we chose Brush Hill Road in Great Barrington. Our real estate agent at the time told us that, Great Barrington has higher taxes than a lot of towns in the area. And, but we really felt that paying higher real estate taxes was an important trade-off for us because we could be close to town. We could be close to the stores the wonderful shops, the grocery stores, Fairview Hospital, and banks that we patronize. We also felt that it was important to be close to the organizations that we support. We joined the boards of several things, and we've been contributors and volunteers at the Mahaley, Railroad Street Youth, Construct, among others. So we learned It's about the bridge. We learned several years ago that the bridge was badly in need of maintenance and repairs. It was no surprise to us. We cross that bridge every day. But we trusted that those needs would be taken care of by the town that we love and the town that we support. But with the closure of that bridge, and the estimated, it's been kind of 4 years plus, delay that's been proposed, that kind of changes for us. To get to downtown Great Barrington now, we're facing a detour of roughly 15 miles round trip on a road that's very poorly maintained, and frankly, it's pretty dangerous. I think you all know about it. It's down to one lane in some places. It's got blind curves. It's got no shoulders in a lot of places. Or the other detour that we're faced with is roughly 25 miles round trip. And that's on some hills and curves that are going to be pretty treacherous for us in the wintertime. We have the other unattractive option of moving, leaving the home that we love and put ourselves closer to necessary goods and services. If we did that, we'd expect to take a hit in our home value during a long and uncertain delay. And we're pretty dubious that our real estate taxes would decrease in the winter in that interim. We're not young. For us, 4 years is a long time to wait for the bridge to be rebuilt. A lot of people our age are finding themselves in need to have emergency services close by. A lot of people, the age of a lot of the residents on Brush Hill Road, are even ceasing driving altogether. So we have a neighbors group on Brush Hill Road, and we are requesting some clarity for our situation. As a group, we're ready to help in any way possible to expedite the reconstruction of the bridge. We've also requested a temporary bridge that might allow for one lane of local traffic. The response we've had to date is that such a temporary solution would result in both timing delays for a permanent bridge and additional expense. But we don't have, neither the amount of time or the amount of extra expense has been specified. So I get it. We understand that getting permits and putting a budget together takes some time, but we respectfully ask for some clarification and some specificity as to what our options are. What a temporary bridge might mean. We will continue to seek answers from this board, from the county, the state, federal representatives, whatever is necessary. We are standing by to be your partners in this endeavor, but we need some help and we need some direction because we truly don't want to live this way for the next 4 years.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel about getting that help?
We will respond.
Thank you.
Who else? Just come up.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Steve.
Hello.
I'm Jess Krupski and my husband and I live on Water Farm Road, which is right off of Home Road. We've been there for 49 years when that whole road, Home Road was dirt. And my husband's the plumbing inspector for Great Barrington and all the other South County towns. And now he has to drive over 20 miles extra just to get to most of his inspections, which is absolutely outrageous. And the town is certainly not going to reimburse him for his gas. 4 years sounds impossible. They build, the Baltimore Bridge is gonna go up faster than that. There's no excuse. It's negligence. And it's a bit of what we've gone through with Great Barrington for many years. They really don't care. But there are many of us on that road, talk about ambulances, fire, and just convenience. We live there, we pay the taxes to be near town, and all of a sudden, we're not near town. And the traffic on the side roads has increased exponentially, and we have to do something. Why 4 years? Who's working on this permitting process? It looks like it's being ignored. It looks like they put up cones and said, see you in 4 years. So does anybody have any answers for that?
But we couldn't give you answers tonight because of the open meeting law anyways. We will get you some answers. There are some, either, whether you may consider them logical, but there are some logical answers.
Well, 4 years is definitely not logical.
Thanks, Jess. Who else? Michelle, of course, come on up. And then we'll have one online. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, before you go.
No, you can go next.
Michelle LeVere, 70 Division Street. Again, we're talking bridges. And if I recollect correctly, when it came to the Division Street Bridge, we brought in this temporary bridge, and to justify the costs, it was said during meetings, we're almost getting two bridges for the price of one, because the Division Street temporary bridge would be used at Brush Hill Road. Well, the temporary bridge, which is not that great, is still on Division Street, and this board will not let it be on an agenda to talk about it. But I just wanted to let the people in the audience know that that was one of the justifications of the cost of the temporary bridge on Division Street, was that it could be used for your bridge. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Let's see. Elaine, state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, I'm Elaine Fagan. I live at 101 Brush Hill Road. First, I want to thank DPW for putting up the signage on East Sheffield. Eliminating trucks or starting to eliminate trucks from East Sheffield Road is a good step for making the road safer. However, you've known for 2 years, even though we weren't advised, that the bridge was going to close and nothing was done to improve road safety on East Sheffield Road. The difference between East Sheffield Road and Boardman Street is stunning. If you were to repave the road, install guardrails, and paint a double yellow line, that would go a long way to improving safety on that stretch of road, especially since you believe it will take more than 4 years to rebuild our bridge. But honestly, 4 years is unacceptable and raises some serious questions. I don't know what you told the people on Division Street, how long it would take to rebuild that bridge, but the Division Street Bridge was closed for 3 years. Now the temporary bridge has been in place for 1.5 years. So now we're at 4.5 years. When are you starting to rebuild that bridge, or when are you moving the temporary bridge over to us? Is there a plan? And what's the plan for rebuilding the Brookside Road Bridge? What's the process? Have you started looking for funding? Have you started the permitting process? What's the town's timeline? I mean, we know that you say it's going to take 4+ years, but what's really the timeline? Who's responsible? Who's making all the decisions for the bridge? Why not install a temporary or one-lane bridge if you know even 4.5 years is not realistic? And we need something now. Closing the bridge affects our family safety in terms of an emergency response. It affects safety on the road. It's caused significant changes in our lives, not to mention property values and a terrible inconvenience at this point. We need a solution now, and we really hope that we'll have someone who will address these issues with us, and because we are very, very concerned at this point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Come on up, state your name and address.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Catherine Dufo, 991 Home Road. We bought our house 2 years ago after an extensive search during the COVID time, and it was crazy. We knew the area, we'd been coming for a long time. We bought specifically where we did because it was very convenient to town, and yet we felt we were in the countryside. We have a view, and we're just mortified that after 2 years, we weren't advised of simply any bridge closure, but the bridge is closed. It's completely changed how we kind of live, because we can no longer access Great Barrington the way we used to. And it's distressing, it's irritating, it's much more expensive. You're spending 15 minutes, you're wasting time. And these are all things that we bought specifically to, avoid those things. We used to be 6 minutes to, Guido's and Big Y, and now you go all the way through Sheffield and down, it's like 16 minutes. And it really changes the whole fabric of your life when things that had been accessible have stopped. So I'm really distressed and disgruntled and just want to voice that. So
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Seeing no one else. Select board time. Ben. Garfield.
Nothing.
Eric.
nothing for me, Steve.
Just in fairness to the folks that came out and the folks that have been speaking about the bridge, closures. You know, I would like to request that on the next, July 8th, meeting agenda that,
It was gonna be on anyway, so.
yeah, that we
Yeah.
get kind of a full account of all the bridges.
Yeah.
And I apologize if that was already,
Yeah.
but just, you know, I think that, you know, if people have timelines and have a sense of where this might go, it would help a lot. Including division.
So
Division
the
Bridge.
safety issues that them trying to get it.
Well, I'm talking about just the accessibility issues right now and, you know, the bridge closures. and
I
stuff.
still would like to know why the Division Street Bridge isn't going to be put on an agenda.
Well, I'm saying all the bridges. So just a sense of, you know, what's happening on Division Bridge, what's happening with, the Brooks
But there
Bridge.
are safety issues and that I wanted to bring forward.
Well, I'm just talking about the closures.
And it's not complete, and I'd like to know why.
Okay, so in my request, just
And
in
it's
fairness to what we're talking about right now.
openness and transparency, as you stated.
Okay, so yeah, it will be coming up on the July 8th, agenda.
But just ask.
Yeah.
On July 8th, are they just gonna listen to us again and just
Well,
leave those?
So-
leave the bridge closed and ignore us?
So we can't have a discussion here because it's not on the agenda, but no, they'll give an overview, which Mark has sent out an email to some people already, and we've talked about it, of what the process is and, you know, what the state, part of this is dealing with the state and it takes
Does
time.
anybody know if the process has begun?
Process started the day after they closed the bridge, which we didn't know 2 years ahead of time that it was gonna be closed, just for sake of honesty. Okay, media time. Seeing none. A motion to convene an executive session not to return to open session under MGL Chapter 38, Section 21A2 for the following purpose: to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. And the chair does declare that the executive session is necessary. Do I have a motion?
I move that the board meet in executive session pursuant to MGL Chapter 38, Section 21A2 for the following purpose: to discuss strategy with respect to town manager contract negotiations.
Do I have a second? Roll call, Ben. Garfield.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
And not to return to open session.